Hello, my name is Brian Rivers and welcome to the Best Guitar Method. This is Unit 1, Lesson 1, and the most important lesson here is do not skip Unit 1. Please do not skip Unit 1. I know you want to play songs and I want you to play songs. Playing guitar is a blast, and why we do it is to play songs. But what I want is for you to play those songs fast, and the best way to do that is to develop your physical technique first before you try to play the songs, because otherwise you'll be so focused on the song you'll develop some habits that'll then slow you down later. So I implore you, please do not skip Unit 1. I know it's a little bit boring, but that being said, you're not going to be able to skip it even if you want to, because this is all about developing physical skills, and physical skills require muscle development. And muscle development simply requires time. So patience is your friend. Be patient. It's going to take a while. If you're feeling frustrated, if your fingers are hurting, that's great. That means you're practicing and you're doing everything that you should be doing. When I worry is when students are not having those issues and they're like, oh, my fingers don't hurt. It's like, oh, you're probably not pressing the string down hard enough. So make sure that you just be patient. The other thing is I want you to just be kind to yourself. Mistakes are okay. A lot of times we have to fake it till we make it. When you first play the note, it might sound a little funky until you get your fingers right, and then all of a sudden it sounds great. And so just keep trying. You're going to need some strategies to overcome difficulty. And the main strategy I want to give you up front is you just have to be more stubborn than the guitar. The guitar is going to do everything it can to get you to quit in the first few weeks, and what you need to do is just be more stubborn than the guitar. Just keep trying. One thing you can do is to practice in small intervals. It's better to practice for a minute or two, 5 times a day, than to try and sit down and practice for 20 minutes, because in the beginning your fingers will be sore. You're not going to have the physical stamina. So more regular practice is better. It's a great strategy for overcoming difficulties rather than to just try and sit down and practice for an hour. That's not going to happen. The other thing I want you to do is to consider breaking things down into small tasks, separating your right hand from your left hand, or from counting, from simply understanding, from listening. Listening to the music is one of the first steps you should do. This is what we do as musicians. We listen. If you're not listening, you're really not being a musician. That's as important as being able to read music or being able to physically do it, is to listen. So all those are skills: listening, decoding what's on the paper, understanding what's on the page, the actual right hand or left hand, or putting it all together, keeping time, a steady beat. These are all individual skills, and you can practice them individually. You don't have to do everything at once. And in fact, all the research says you will get better at doing them all at once if you work on them individually. There are a lot of people who spend their life studying this kind of thing, and that's what they've determined. So separate the right hand from the left hand always when you're first starting, and then try and put them together. The other thing I want to talk to you a little bit about is practicing versus playing. The reason we learn the guitar is to play music, and I encourage you to play and experiment and to have fun. But I also think that the best way to get there is by practicing. And so when you practice, you should have a specific goal. I often talk about the soccer team. I know a lot of people have been, and I say, if you were the coach, would you just have everybody play the game all day? Or do you think there's some value in doing some dribbling skills and some passing skills? And so it's really a balance. And so when we're working on our picking or our chord changing, we should have very specific ideas in mind. And when we're practicing, one of the ways you'll know you're practicing is nobody will want to listen to you, because repetition is another great strategy. Nobody really wants to hear this, but this is what needs to happen. Early on, I'll talk about catch and release, and I just want you to do this. This will really annoy your family. So there's a difference between practice and playing. And so the big thing is just when you're practicing, have a specific goal. You should always think to yourself, okay, I am working on my left hand, my right hand, steady beat, whatever it is. And when you're working on those things, don't worry about the other things. Just focus on the one task, because it will really help in the long run. It'll get you there faster. All right, well, I think guitar is great fun, and so let's get started. I'll see you at lesson 2.